All right, Danny, a bit of a crazy game today. Your views on it?
Obviously, just spoke to the players now. I'm bitterly disappointed and angry with the first 20 minutes of the game. To be honest, I thought it was similar to the game when we played against Paul away from home in that first 45. That I don't know. It seemed like that hunger and that aggression wasn't there for whatever reason. Whether that's nervous energy when we're going into a game against teams in and around us, or whether that's just, I don't know, whether they think that we're just going to turn up and win it after the run that we've been on. I don't know. Something's not quite right in those games when we play teams in and around us recently. Although we went on to win the Pool game and it was a great reaction in the second half. I say that we went down to Winchester and won there comfortably, so we know we're capable of beating those teams in and around us. But the first 20 minutes were disappointing. The 2 goals, again, bitterly disappointing. They're good at what they do, and the 11 for them does exactly that, and that's what they look for all the time. We talked about it before the game down at their place. We talked about it and showed them clips before today, and they've scored from 2 of those examples, and we got to stop it. We got to stop it further up the pitch before it even gets there, if I'm honest. And then ultimately, is a couple of good bits of play by them, which has led to the goals. But the first 20 minutes disappointing. After that, I've got to say the reaction from the lads was superb. The ground has absolutely gone silent when it's gone 2-0, and I understand that. That's not criticism. That's what happens. But the boys have found something from within themselves to pick themselves up, not feel sorry for themselves, go again, manage to get the goal before half time, and then kick on in the second half and ultimately put themselves in a great position, only to be undone by a set play. And again, it's a great delivery from them, and it's ended up 3-3. So all in all, I think it's a point that we'll take and move on.
Yeah, it did feel a bit flat at the start, like you said, and after such a poor start where things didn't look right, I thought the subs really helped, especially Gold coming on in the middle. What was the sort of thought process going with just Monks in the middle and leaving Gold and Bud on the bench?
The same thought process that, if you take out the last 3 games, the same thought process that got us all of those wins and got us all of those goals. So it's not just Monks in midfield, by the way, but I understand in terms of a recognised
sort of opting for it, yeah.
In terms of a recognised midfielder, but in the run that we've been playing, it's been Monks, Albie and Rex. When we first started to change, it was Monks, Albie and Drewy, or Buddy. But we've always had 2 attacking midfielders in there, and we didn't create enough on Tuesday night. Rex was brilliant up top. We wanted to get him slightly deeper to run from deep and get an extra forward on the pitch. So we've done it to try and be aggressive and attacking. It's worked for us. Today, it just didn't. We didn't pick up enough second balls in the middle of the park in that first 20 minutes. It didn't quite feel right, and that's ultimately why you got a squad.
Yeah, absolutely. And you went for the 2 bigger lads up front together as well today. Why did you go for that approach?
Yeah, the pitch. So I mean, the fans have obviously got opinions and they watch the game and they want us to play a little bit more football. But you could see out there people slipping all over the place. To be fair, it's held up quite well. Again, I know I said that the other week. It's held up quite well in all fairness, but it's not a pitch where you can play beautiful football, play it in between the lines, get people on the half turn and run. You can't run with the ball for a start. So we knew we might have to go a little bit more direct. So we had the big boys up there, but also we wanted to get it into wide areas and get balls in the box and get 2 lads who can be in the width of the penalty box. So yeah, that was the thinking behind it. It didn't quite work for us for whatever reason today in that early exchange, but like you say, the bench is what they're there for, to go and change the game. We don't always get it right from the start. We don't always get our changes right. But we've got quality in the 16 that if it's not going right, we can change it. And they had an impact today.
Yeah, obviously Ollis coming on at half-time. We know he's been out with an illness. Because things weren't working, was the plan for him to play 45 minutes, or did you think I just got to get him on?
No, that wasn't the plan. I think like you say, we went with the 2 bigger men today, but I just felt that Archie was winning a lot of his first contacts today, especially after the 20 minutes when he got into the game. He won a lot of first balls, and we never had anyone on the end for his flick on. So we know Ollis will do that. Ollis can compete and fight and win balls, but he'll also go and stretch teams. And I thought you saw that within minutes of him coming on. Tough on Kurt because he's sat there and been patient and waited for his time. But we felt Ollis was the right change today for those reasons. And then the front four, if you like, in terms of Albie, Rex, and Ollis and Ferris were outstanding and causing them so much trouble that you didn't want to change it. Because they all looked, even though they were tiring, they all looked like they could create something at any moment. And possibly could have got Curtis on a little bit earlier, but it's hard when they look like they're going to go and score goals, those four.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Obviously going down 2-0 down quite early on, but then pulling it back and then conceding the goal. You happy with a point overall?
No, never happy with a point. Never happy with a point. Even those games that we've just been on, obviously we go into them to try and win. Ultimately, after the game, you will assess whether it's a good point or not. I think the situation that we were in today, 2-0 down after 20 minutes. I think if anyone would have gave you a point at that point, I think you would have taken it. Fighting back the way we did to get to 3-2. Ultimately, there's a tinge of disappointment in there. But as I keep saying, when I come out here. We know exactly what we think. We know exactly what we need to do. Points return that we need to get. We've just picked up another point off that tally. There's teams in and around us that are all playing each other and all taking points off each other. So we just got to care about our business and pick up the wins wherever they come. And if we don't win, make sure we pick up at least a point. And if we lose, make sure we bounce back and recover. Because there's plenty of games left to go, and I know there's enough in this group to get the points that we require. Doesn't matter whether we're going to a side in the top half of the table or a side in the bottom half of the table, we're capable of picking up points. So that's all we've got to focus on, the next team, the next game.
And regardless, we've still gone up 2 places in the table. Yeah,
I haven't looked at the league table. No, I don't. I'm genuinely not, and I think I've learned from past experiences. Obviously, when it gets a little bit closer, you will need to know whether you need a point or 3 points and what decisions you're going to make from the bench. But at this moment in time, I am 100% focused on what we do, preparing for each game as best as we can, and trying to piece together a team that can go and get the next 3 points. And that's all we're worrying about. There's a long way to go. There'll be ups and downs. But again, like I said, last Tuesday, I think it was, when we spoke, we've given ourselves one hell of an opportunity from the unbelievable run that we've been on since the last time we played Marlow. And there's another game that we haven't lost here today. I think it's 2 in 14, something like that. 2 in 14, 2 in 15 defeats. And if we replicate that form between now and the end of the season, we'll be fine.
But we do have a break from league action. We go to Somerset Cup, travel to Mendip Broadwalk, and chance to secure a spot in the semi-final.
Yeah, it's the next game, so it's one that we'll be 100% focused on. There'll undoubtedly be changes. There's a few battered and bruised. It's been a really intense period, and that pitch is really heavy and takes it out of people. There's people desperate to get into the side, and that will be their opportunity. We will make changes, and those boys will get minutes, and it's down to them now to give us a real good performance on Tuesday night and say that they deserve the shirt going into the next league game, and that's the way we want it. So we'll look forward to playing Mendip. Hopefully the weather stays kind to us and we get that game on, and hopefully secure a place in a semi-final.
Good, cheers Danny.
Cheers.